And the final girl to go in this round, Georgana Pieva from Bulgaria. 9.775, 9.612, 9.512. She's going down in her scores so far. Let's hope she can reverse it on this. Full in, back out. Opener landed it well.
Came sixth in the European on floor. Of course, the Bulgarians have a tremendous tradition for their floor work. Good history of bronze medals at World Championships. So let's keep our fingers crossed. With such a strong rhythmic gymnastics session in Bulgaria, there's a strong influence on the dance of artistic gymnastics. And that was one of the best double backs I've seen at the end of any of the girls' floor routines. A tiny little split of the legs, but the direction of the takeoff was excellent.
So a tremendous finish for Georgana Pieva. The last girl to go in this group. These are the people who qualified in 21st to 36th position. Chance again to look at that tumbling. 3 twists, just getting round. And the leader, Eva Rueda from Spain at this stage, 39.286. Teliana Verdnicharova second, 38.825. Laurie Strong from Canada third. Sarah Mercer from Great Britain fourth, and Monique Allen from Australia fifth. But Georgana Pieva's score still to come, and of course the 20 top gymnasts too. We'll be back to show you them after the break. And it's the best one that counts in this competition.
Good start from Fandi. Little jump back on the landing, and she sighs about that, but otherwise a clean, tidy vault.
It's the Yurchenko, straight as you can see, and one twist there as she comes off the top of the horse. Fandi, so elegant. Just a question of whether she's got the strength.
And Iveta Polakova from Czechoslovakia, starting off on the asymmetric bars. And Polakova, no mean gymnast. Oh dear, dreadful start for her.
You're putting the kiss of death on people, Monica. It's terrible the number of times one begins to enthuse about somebody and it's almost as if they hear it. I can assure you we are far enough away from the podium to have no effect on the performances.
Never mind, she has to try her hardest to forget that. Terrible for her on the first piece of apparatus. She hasn't forgotten it, and she's really fallen to pieces.
And that a tragedy, because her competition now almost completely over, because she might have recovered from one fall and still got up to a decent ranking, but that is going to be a score way down in the eights, and that is going to drop her so far down that her biggest problem now will be to pick herself up at all and get interested in the other 3 pieces of apparatus.
Precisely. To become interested and enthusiastic and competitive with a mark deficit is very difficult.
Fandi, her second vault, and the judges loved that first one, 9-9.
She does show beautiful shapes during her flight off the apparatus. Lovely tight posture.
Well, the landing, if anything, just a shade better. The Chinese coming in, obviously, in the right mood.
But she appears to have such a fragile frame, and yet very, very explosive from both the feet and the hands.
Onto the beam. There with the round-off mount Barbel Vilgos from East Germany.
I've noticed that every East German has the same combination of jumps in their beam exercise. And also that tumble combination. Some perform it better than others. Barbel Vilgos, a new member to the East German team.
Great contrast in shape between Vilgos and Fandi.
And of course, the shape, the body shape of a gymnast is all important when trying to score tens. To create a beautiful line is the essence of gymnastics.
Well, the East German contingent in the crowd love it, but then they are tremendous at getting behind their gymnasts. They'll always give them a cheer. Fandi from China did better her first vault score with the second one, 9.925. It's a great start for her. Puts her obviously into the mood to push on from there. And Polakova, 8.475 for her disastrous overs. Olga Strajeva from the Soviet Union starting her competition on floor.
I think it's a disadvantage to start on floor because they haven't got emotionally involved in the competition, and sometimes they don't portray the charisma that they can do later on when they're more enthusiastic.
Huge amount of strapping around that right ankle. I wonder how much of an injury it is she's carrying. Well, it didn't seem to affect her there.
I think it's probably more preventative than trying to prevent an injury than protecting it. Off centre on that double spin, she should have walked out forwards from it. Very different choreography from Olga Strajeva, and this is what floor exercise is all about: creativity and individuality.
Vilgos's beam at 9.8. They're the Arabian 1 3/4. Tandy Woolsey from the USA, 2 vault.
Yurchenko with a full twist.
17-year-old from Colorado. And the Americans always have wonderful names for their gymnastics club. Her club, the Desert Devils.
Yang Bo from China. Now, this new little star is really something special. I hope to goodness that I haven't put the kiss of death on her. High, beautiful Jaeger. Just look at the beauty in the line, the strength in the back, flat back, tight tension, nice tight tuck. Slight jump forward there, John, but you've got to agree, that was beautiful to watch.
It really was. The asymmetric bars, I think, the Chinese favourite piece of apparatus. There, the lovely Jaeger, and that swung properly, not cheated, not spinning while just dropping. She swung into it. As she waits, Strajeva sees that she scored 9.962, and Woolsey scored 9.912. Candy Woolsey for her first vault. Here comes the second. Can she improve on it?
Beautiful landing. Lovely vault. Just a slight slackness I detected around the knees. But dynamically, it was perfect. Nice light contact on the top of the horse. See, she's hardly on there any time at all, and really thrusts off. Arms tidy in the twist. Stuck a beautiful landing.
9.875 for Young Bo. And Natalia Lashonova starts her competition on the beam. Attacks that front somersault mount.
And this is the girl who tumbles on the beam. She doesn't do tumbles different because she's on a beam. That is a flick straight back.
As we were saying earlier, we sometimes talk about straight backs, and that is the only one that really is a straight back that we see.
Yes, the only one in the world. Couple of times Lashonova has just moved the shoulders and tipped slightly to the side. Almost lack of self-belief rather than a wobble.
Probably the greatest tumbler in the world at the moment in women's gymnastics. There, no problems at all. Off the end of the beam with the full twisting double back.
Oh, no pussyfooting around for Lashonova. She is so bold. I mean, the beam's only 10 centimetres wide, and she goes along with 2 feet together. There's, you know, no cheating, no walking out. 2 feet to 2 feet. Flick, flick. Pull in, back out, dismount. That's splendid stuff.
And the excitement in this competition is that you get a great performer like Lashonova, followed by Daniela Silovash. On the floor, she starts her comp. Pull in, back out, landed, spot on, no step back out of that. Silovash, gold medalist on floor at the Seoul Olympics. Equal first at the 87 World Championships.
I know a lot of people have said to me, don't you think Silovash has slowed down somewhat? Well, of course I do. She's grown taller. Her movements are bound to be slower. They take longer to perform. But she certainly has developed in maturity and quality of movement.
Well, that overbalance out of the final somersault. It was only small, but it was a very definite fault. The 19-year-old from Deva Getting into her competition with floor, probably not ideal for her, but a lovely exercise. She's changed it totally for these championships.
And there have been a lot of scathing reports in the press about tiny little girls producing tricks. Well, here is Daniela Silevash, a woman, producing the tricks, and she does it very, very well indeed.
That lovely run, punching out of the twist and going on another run. And now we can see that final somersault and see how she nearly overbalanced. Lashonova scored 9.875 for her beam. This, Larissa Loeing. Well, that really was short. Struggled all the way through that vault. The Canadian girl, Larissa Loeing, never got that timing right at all, Monica.
No, she must have got a cast from the board. She did. Hands on the front edge of the horse. She was really lucky not to come a cropper on that. Miho Shinoda from Japan to the asymmetric bars. Japanese back on the road to progress and success.
There, the Jaeger. You see how much lower that one was? Really sort of spun as she dropped. Giant straddles it at the bottom, comes into the back summer dismount. Overdoes it, Shea.
She really was in trouble on that dismount. She took it too steep. And she began to pull in the pike and then had to open it again to land safely.
Larissa Loeing, second vault, 9.862 for her first. And that really is... Well, if the first one was worth 9.862, what's that worth?
Rather silly, really, because when she cast and twisted the shoulders on the first vault, it set the whole vault crooked. The dynamics of the vault was really wrong.
Chen Kuiting. The head spring onto the beam.
Although that had a one-legged exit, it certainly was a nice high somersault, the nearest I've seen to Larshinova's. Kuting and Larshinova very similar in body shape and therefore produce similar types of skills. That's magnificent. She is the only person in the world who performs it. I think she's the only one who dares. It's a very, what we call a bottly movement. Frightened me to death coaching it, because if the gymnast doesn't have the commitment to go for height, then it's a head job. In other words, the head hits the beam before the hands. Oh, lovely, nimble double back off the end there.
Chen Kuiting then starting well. Silevash scored 9.975 for that floor. The judges kind to her on that little mistake on the end. There's that superb original move. It's the Corbett flip, but with an enormous difference. I mean, she goes right up to the stretch handstand first. Henrietta Onodi.
Hardly believe that little Henrietta is 15 years old. Not as good as she produced in warm-up, that full in, back out piked. Onodi fifth all-round in the European Championships. And she shared the bronze medal on floor with Cristina Bontash from Romania. smashing. The rule book says that the gymnast must cover the whole floor area. The poor little soul has really got to travel into every corner of that 12-metre square.
Yes, just 1 metre 34 tall. Three twists, look at that, gets round, lovely move. Anodi there waiting. Larissa Lowing scored 9.912 for that second vault of hers. Now it's Brandy Johnson from the USA.
Brandy looking just a little bit rounded, not really lean enough for a world championship. They really should have their fat content down to almost a minimum to look the best they can. Power to weight tends to go, and Brandy's not on such good form this championship.
Quickly, a couple of scores. Shinoda, 9.737 on the A-bars, as Catherine Mermet from France goes onto the A-bars.
This is very clever. I detected 2 errors on the high bar. She obviously had to shift her hands because something went wrong. But I only detected it because I've watched her several times in warm-up. Quick thinking.
Karine Mermet, Brandy Johnson's second vault. She got 9.9 for her first. I don't know where these judges are going to go when the really top vaulters get on. They've started marking very high very early.
Now that was a nice vault. That's worth 9.9.
There's the change of vault. Handspring, front. No, the half just coming in late, so it's a Cuervo, yes. Chen Quiting on beam scored 9.9, and this Wendy Bruce from the USA.
Americans have got 3 gymnasts in the top 20. Just missed out on the bronze medal in the team championships. Nice combination there, the leap into the straight back from one leg.
And all these American girls very close to each other. Double tuck that finish. Wendy won the USA Championships trial. Won the McDonald International and was second in the Belgian Masters. A New Yorker.
Anodi's floor got 9.837. And Johnson's vault 9.937.
This Cristina Bontaș from Romania. Third equal with Anodi in the European Championships last May on this piece of apparatus in the final.
Very interesting, being lucky to be at all of the major championships, to see the progress these youngsters make. Bontaș has always been a fabulous tumbler, but not always a good dancer, and that is improving year by year.
a very taxing exercise, just gathering herself there. And no wonder, what a last tumble. Putting in the whip back somersault in the middle of that last tumble, so it became 5 moves instead of 3 once she started tumbling. And Silivash, her big sister, gives her a big kiss.
It's lovely to see the senior gymnasts encourage the youngsters. Never any jealousy, always good camaraderie. Bontash's flick-flacks are so long for such a tiny girl. The flick-flack is the backward jump onto the hands. Just look at the length she gets. Almost sprints across the floor on hands and feet.
This is that last run. There's the round off, flick-flack. And still enough control to get good height on that double tuck back. And Bontash has got the first 10. Well, what excitement. Silivash knew it was good, the way she congratulated her. And Bontash is the first to set everybody's nerves tingling in this final.
Cho Byung-hui from North Korea.
Quickly, a couple of other results. Wendy Bruce on the beam, 9.862, and Mermes Abars, 9.737. Svetlana Boginskaya has to come into the competition, having just seen a 10 from the Romanians. That's like red rag to a bull, Monica.
Yes, especially to Boginskaya. She really is a competitor. She got a 10 on this routine in the team championship. And really, in my opinion, I've got quite a fair knowledge of gymnastics. She really was lacking in quantity of moves. Now she's put a full in back out on the end of that routine. She only had a double back in the first round. If the judges give her 10, they really have crucified themselves.
There the toe on, toe off as she goes round the giant. And there, that full twisting double back to finish with. Landed it, as she tends to, a little bit untidily.
Cho's first vault, 9.875. This is her second vault. The best score counts. Another full twisting Yurchenko.
Yeah, she lacks a little bit of power, doesn't get the thrust off the top of the horse that would give her more time to get round and complete the full twist in the somersault.
Gabriela Potarak to beam. Remember this little girl with the shiny haircut, the bob, in the Olympics. Now she's grown up, grown the hair, looks much more womanly.
One beam at the European Championships in the individual apparatus finals. Got a bronze in the Olympic Games.
Applause from the audience, appreciating just how difficult it is to pirouette on a beam. It's bad enough on the floor, but on the beam and in a World Championships, very difficult.
And that really is a stuck landing. No movement at all. Didn't have to compensate for any lateral movement. Lovely to see. And she's beginning to look so elegant as she gets a bit taller and develops.
And she really has a lovely blend of difficulty and quality. That was smashing. Really, really smashing.
Boginskaya didn't get the 10. 9.95 for asymmetric bars. And that for an exercise that was more difficult than the one she performed in the first round. And she performed the first one a little bit raggedly. shows second vault 9.887, so that's the one that counts.
And this is really somebody to watch. Kim Gwang-suk from North Korea, a brilliant little tumbler, really stole the hearts of the crowds in the team championships.
Lovely exercise there from little Kim Gwang-suk from North Korea. The North Koreans obviously have developed their gymnastics program enormously. They've certainly got people to watch in men's and women's gymnastics. The whip, flick, flick, double tuck back finish. Well, at the end of the first round, it's very definitely on points to the Romanians. They've gone 1, 2, 3 there. Christina Bontash with that perfect 10. First, Gabriela Potorak. Second, Daniela Silivash, third. And the first Russian, Olga Strajeva, in fourth place. We'll take a break there, but we'll be back with round 2 in just a moment. Welcome back to the Hans-Martin Schleierhalle here in Stuttgart, the women's all-round individual championships. You're watching Eurosport. At the end of the first round, the Romanians have really thrown down the gauntlet. Christina Bontash getting a perfect 10. Gabriela Potorak getting 9.987, and Daniela Silivash getting 9.975 to take the first 3 places. Olga Strajeva is fourth at the moment. Voginskia is right down in 6th. And Lashonova so far down. In fact, on our computer scores, I can't even tell where she is, because they put all the other gymnasts from the first division above these people because they've only done 1 division. Christina Bontash, leader at the moment. She goes to vault there, as you can see. Monica, first blood to the Romanians. Do you think that's significant or not?
Not at this stage, because I think that the margin between the first and the 10th gymnast is only hundredths of a point, so it almost gives a false impression. But it's good to see the Romanians come out and start 1, 2, 3.
Christina Bontash and Daniela Silivash in the same group, and the order onto the apparatus rotates, so there's no advantage. Where they started was also drawn by lots, so they make it as equal as possible. Silivash on vault.
And that was a very high flight off. From the angle that the cameraman showed it, it wasn't too apparent, but from the time lag, from when her hands came off the apparatus to when her feet contacted it, showed the immense flight off.
Much better angle to see it there. Lots of time to hold that position. She could land it perfectly. She wouldn't need that little step back. Sandy Woolsey of the USA Her coach just putting in the Reuter board and then pulling it out as soon as she's onto the apparatus so it doesn't distract her. He goes in now just to check on the catcher. You know that's coming the moment they walk in.
Nice Hecht half turn to catch the high bar. Most people have problems with it in the compulsory exercise. They don't choose to include it in their voluntary exercise too. A very tricky element. Full twist on the top bar from the giant, straight into the double back. Combining the difficulties is the skill of the game.
Nice smooth transition. She did keep a good rhythm all the way through that exercise. Silavash, her second vault, she's got 9.925 for that first one. Now, can she hold the landing on this second one?
That's what she needs, and a little bit more stretch around the knees. She's often slack. Extension, no, not as good as the first one. Slammed it back from the board, parted the legs.
I think exactly as you said, Monica, she was going for the more stretch in the knees to show a little bit of a better shape and make sure there was no slackness there. And pushed it too hard and actually lost it and couldn't control it. Wolsey's A-bars, 9.85. Yang Bo onto beam.
Haven't seen that since the days of Olga Korbut when she did her chin stand. That was back in the 1974 Olympic Games.
Started on A-bars with a 9.875. Oh, wonderful move. The Shushinova now put on the end of a combination.
Well, Shushinova struggled with it as an individual move, but she lifted that on the third skill. That is brilliant.
Oh, and what a pity. All the extra bonus and the difficulty in that incredible combination, which I'm sure we'll see again in a moment in slow motion. And then she ruins it all with the big wobble, but then again straight back into it, puts it behind her, Monica. That was a lovely combination again.
The ironical thing is that she wobbled on a little jump. She's landing all of the difficult skills, but this, oh, nothing short of magnificent.
Well, she's going to get originality, virtuosity, risk everything for the combination.
She's got so many D elements. There it is, a full twist in the Korbut and way above the beam when she's finished the full twist. Just look at the linear movements of her tumbles. That twist, her shoulders over the beam all the way.
Monica calling it a Korbut. Korbut did it without a twist at all. Me calling it a Shushinova because Shushinova the first one to do it with a twist. We're not at odds with each other. It's just a different reference. Now, Lashanova to the floor.
And the Russians have gone over the top with their choreography. All very different. Lovely double back straight there, and it really was straight.
It had to be absolutely straight and landed vertically to be able to work on out of it as she did.
What is so amazing is that she only takes a couple of steps into her tumbles. You'd think she had springs in her feet. 3 steps there.
Yeah, the men gymnasts would be proud of her, because they've always complained that the women are allowed to run halfway across the floor to gain speed, and they're not. But Leshonova doesn't need it. And Yang Bo's beam score, 9.9, the minimum deduction they could give her. That's how highly they rated it. Look at that opening tumble, and then she's in such control. She can come straight out of it, flick-flack, straddle jump, little front somersault, and off she goes again into a double tuck back. And most people in the world in women's gymnastics struggling to get that. A no-D to vault.
It's amazing how such a tiny little poppet can propel herself from the horse. The horse 1.20 meters high and an OD 134.
Larissa Lewing from Canada. She's got a nice swing to her movements on the A-bars.
Yes, she has. Every movement she makes look as large as possible. That's the full extension of the body, so the feet form huge circles. That was an excellent routine. Lovely difficulty and a very even rhythm all the way through.
Leshonova, 9.987 on floor. It's hotting up there. Anodi, 9.9 for her first vault. And that's a tremendous credit to her. She is just 14 centimeters higher than the vaulting horse.
She really has to be so acrobatic and fast in her movement that she doesn't have time to show lines, because the board must be almost as heavy as her, and she has to make it shift her.
Yes, the greater weight she can put on there, it barely even indented as she hit the top of it, because she's so light.